So I want to show you something that didn't get into the last video. A little hint to help make this a little bit easier. It's still going to be tricky to figure out how to hold it. So what I do is either one of two things. You can either have just these fingers hold, and this finger being up doesn't matter, it's just a tendency that I have. You can also wrap it around your pinky and then go over the top. And that provides, oops, sorry, I meant to come over the top. That provides a little bit more tension, but it does provide you more control. So you can loosen it, and you can use this finger to pull the other yarn up and forward. So the little trick that I think might be helpful to you that didn't get into the cut that I made is when you're doing the chain, instead of coming through the hole like this, which is really hard to do because both of them get caught, you grab this and you twist it a little bit farther, and it goes into like the point of the teardrop. And then I grab that one. And when I come forward, I just twist it just the littlest bit so that it can slide through. And I don't know if you just saw, I just wiggled my pinky to move the yarn. And then I reset my fingers. I wiggle my pinky, turn it in. So that really is a huge thing that I do, and I said it in one of my takes where I made another mistake, so I cut it out. But turning your hook so that it goes, so that it doesn't catch both, but it just slides in between. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So I have it pretty tight here even. It doesn't have to be tight, it just needs to be loose enough that you can get the hook through. If it's super tight, you're going to have tension issues in your hand and all kinds of things, but I don't know if you can see that better. So I'm turning it so that it goes, so that it doesn't catch both, but it turns just the tiniest little bit. Oops. That's also very common, different types of yarns where you accidentally you don't grab all the ply. There you go. There's also a problem when you are single crocheting. Sometimes when you put your hook through, sometimes it doesn't go through all of the plies, it just goes through some of the plies. And then when you pull the yarn through to do your single crochet, it won't pull through very well. So when that happens, just take it back out, go back to your stitch from before, and then redo it and check to make sure that you've got all the plies. So if things don't move easily, it's usually because the yarn has split, or your hook has split the yarn, I should say. Make sure it's all the way. And like I said before, the initial foundation part is the hardest. After you get through the initial chain and this initial row of single crochet, it's much easier because you're actually catching the whole V, whereas this, you're just getting one side of the V and there's nothing to hang on to. So there's my little tip.